Hey folks, Kevin here. Well, it's January 24th, 2025. We got some snow last night. We got over a foot last night. We got a couple inches this morning, so I got to do some snow blowing, interrupting some of the daily schedule here. So I just turned the PTO on, getting things moving here. Got some ice buildup here inside. We've had one bitter cold spell here. And let's see what we're going to do here. Take it nice and steady here. So we've been real busy lately, trying to update some of our things going on in our lives. Apologize for my awkwardness speaking right now. Just trying to see what I'm doing. The machine is still pretty cool right now. I'm trying not to get into any of the areas where, like right there where the dirt is frozen. And this is light lake effect snow. So it's like that Christmassy snow that everybody loves. And thank God it came today instead of yesterday. We had more things going on yesterday. That's it. I'm knocking down some of the banks here at the same time. Getting snow inside the shop here. Trying to be real careful not to shear any pins to start out with. Don't want to go too far here because this is where I got into the soft soil and sheared a bunch of pins. We're going to stop right there. So we've had a very significant cold spell. Well below freezing for several days. We're still below freezing now. I think we're about 17 degrees Fahrenheit right now. The deer have all been hunkered down during this cold spell. I've seen very few deer out over the last couple of nights. What we can do here. So those people who don't know what this is, so this is the tractor that I'm operating is a Kubota Grand L6060 with a front mounted snowblower. This is their more advanced model front mounted snowblower. So with the undercarriage, the mount system that we have on this, this has the ability to drive up and I can just hit a switch inside of here and it will disconnect the PTO, disconnect the hydraulics, and disconnect the electronics going to whatever device hooks onto this tractor, which is real handy. I do end up taking the whole undercarriage off in the springtime because we don't have much ground clearance with the snowblower undercarriage on. But it does work extremely well. And I think recently so this is a nice enclosed cab on this Grand L6060. They have a couple other models of the Grand L system. They have the 4060 and I can't remember, is it a 3060? I don't remember the other one. A little bit lower horsepower. And this one I think is awesome. I've really lucked out with selecting the equipment that I've invested in these recent years. They've all paid off very, very well. And hopefully I'll get our driveways fixed up here some in the next couple of years, and our roadways. It's been following us for a while. We've got quite a few roads going over to the next road where our other property is. And dousing the bird feeders here unintentionally. But I posted a video, well, I posted a couple of videos recently, but one of them was I posted an article on our website, Mindful Living Sanctuary, about some of the things I really wish our educational system would have covered, but I think it's really the responsibility of parents to educate their kids with a whole variety of different topics. And the topic that I made a video about recently was about financial investments and understanding how important it is to start as early in life as possible. I gotta concentrate on what I'm doing when up here next close to the house here. Just like in medicine, first do no harm. And a little cleared spot here next to the water spigots that we haven't seen in a while. And so Thea and I will be doing an update on our GE Profile 2-in-1 heat pump technology washer dryer combination unit. So it's one machine, the washer and the dryer. And well, I'll make a video about the whole story in the next few days, but long and short of it is yesterday it got hauled away to the washer dryer graveyard, and we had delivered a set of Speed Queen commercial grade a washer and dryer, two separate units. So that's why that little spot next to the spigots there shows that shows the spot where the hot air is coming out of the dryer vent now, because we hooked up a 220 dryer. Life has gotten much easier for Thea now as a result of getting that new washer and dryer and getting rid of the machine that was taking so many hours out out of our lives. One of the things I can tell you about this story is we ordered new parts for it. A technician came out and determined that the heat pump condenser system and a humidity sensor had gone bad and that they needed to be replaced. And I said to him, I said, well, when can you come back to install it? And he says, well, you won't see me again. This is a two-man job and nobody wants to work on these. So, with that, there was supposed to be a different agency, so the insurance company that we got, when we purchased that GE washer dryer unit, we purchased it through Home Depot when they had a sale going on, and we bought their 5-year extended warranty. And I am not one that believes in buying warranties, not at all. But I said, well, this is new technology, so we're going to do it this time. And so we had just passed our 1-year ownership of the GE Profile 2-in-1 washer dryer unit. And it was acting up. It was taking the whole day to dry one load. And that's because the heat pump had given out. And so like I said, we had the technician come. They came through the insurance there and said, geez, you know, it's going to take 2 guys to repair this, and kind of hard to find people that are going to want to do this job because, I don't know, I think they get paid for the contract, how much time on hours it's supposed to take them to fix it and all. And they can make more money doing repairs on other pieces of equipment. So it just doesn't make sense for them to do that. And so we just waited a couple of days and then finally got a note, an email from the insurance carrier, Allstate, stating, well, we don't have another service department that can do this for you. Can you reach out and contact appliance repair places near you to see if they can fix it? And they had already ordered the parts for it. And basically I sent in the survey results saying, you know, this is really disappointing. You know, you folks need to handle getting the people and getting them here in a timely manner to do the repairs. And that was just one of those generic survey that you do online. And I wrote it eloquently, but I really let them know how disappointed I was with their extended warranty package that they were offering for this piece of equipment. And man, it's getting hot in here. Got the window open over here. And it's getting real deep up in here. So I got a response from the survey. It's actually one of the, I guess she's a supervisor. She was told to contact me. So they really do take their surveys. I wasn't really expecting much with a survey there, but they must actually pay attention to it. So a supervisor or manager contacted me, and I explained everything. I said, look, we've had it for a year. It's needed a tremendous amount of work to keep it under control, and these are pretty notorious for breaking down and very expensive to repair. And technicians don't want to work on them, as is evident by the email that I got, and I copied that, and she acknowledged that and apologized for everything and said, well, you know, we can give you a store credit. And I said, no, they don't have a machine that I want at Home Depot. I'd like the refund. So bear with me as I get into the areas where the ground goes like this. Try not to make sure that I don't do any more damage here. Opening up the other side window. Slow right down here while I'm doing this. So she was very helpful, and she said she checked with things and all. And so I got an email back from her, and she said, well, we can offer you the refund unit, the store replacement and all. And I said, no, I don't want the same unit, and I don't want the other units that they sell at Home Depot. I want a totally different brand, something that's really reliable, Speed Queen, and it has a reputation. Speed Queen actually started off in the commercial space, and that's what I wanted to go with, something that's going to, because we've got multiple cats. I'm outside working in all sorts of crappy conditions, sawdust, dirt, grease, oil. So it's a big deal having something that isn't going to require being repaired over and over again, and not the man-hour labors that Thea has to work with the machine. Because that GE 2-in-1 initially was beautiful, but it just couldn't hold up and withstand the amount of work that's required for our family. I think the machine would be fantastic if you got a single person, doesn't have much space, they got a 110 outlet, they don't have a penetration through the wall for a dryer vent, and they only do a couple loads of laundry a week. I'm sure this would work fantastic for them. But when you're doing a couple loads a day, that just isn't going to cut it. And there's a lot of families, good sized families, even though the size of families nowadays is much smaller than they used to be. You really need to have a machine that can get the job done in a reasonable period of time. So eventually they agreed to send us a refund for the unit itself, no refund for the service agreement, and no refund for the pedestal that we bought. It's, I think, probably $250, I'm guessing, for the pedestal. That's what the new pedestals cost for our new washer and dryer that we got. But they were pretty good about it, and so we can't really recommend that 2-in-1 combo unit, unfortunately. They're just not ready yet. The concept is great, but the design and engineering really needs to be reworked. Because I think if it was designed much better, they wouldn't be going through the parts. They wouldn't need the service as often as they need it. So we shall see. So they did send us a check the other day. We got the check. They also sent us the heat pump, and so I put that on on eBay to sell, in case someone needs to buy one at less than half the price that they charge for. So I'm trying to make up our money for our pedestal and our service contract. Extended warranty. But, you know, it is what it is. You know, so that's behind us now. There's some more dirt up into the garden here. Dirt, snow. I do not want to throw any snow up, dirt up into the garden. This is actually, you know, getting a foot in the night is much more like what we used to have for many, many years here. And getting a few inches every couple of days is a little bit less than what we used to get, but this snow season's been closer to normal, but still not quite normal yet. Now I've got those Eufy doorbells, which have cameras in them, 2 cameras in them for packages and all that, and I made a video about it, and I really like them a lot. And I've got them on the workshop, on the back of the garage, on the front of the house, and they work extremely well, and it alerts you on your phone every single time. So when I'm out here snow blowing, those are going off constantly. And I've got one, you may notice, besides the regular security and surveillance cameras that we got, there's one of the Eufy, they call it an AI, it's not really AI, it's not really artificial intelligence system, but nowadays that's a new advertising gimmick. But that camera works extremely well as well. Well, we are making headway here. So I also made, well, I didn't finish what I started off. So one of the videos I made most recently was about the importance of teaching our children or learning ourselves about the importance of investing financially if we can swing it. Remember, I started off living in my car and in a porta camp and then in a single wide mobile home. And I lived in a mobile home for quite some time while we started building everything. So, and I know it sounds kind of crazy when you look at where we're at now, how far we've come. But, and we really incurred significant debt when we decided, okay, let's go back to school and get our doctorates in veterinary medicine, and then on from there to get specialized. And we were extremely in debt. And I learned a lot through that, and I thank God that we did the things that we did do. However, I would definitely do things differently today. And it's about building an emergency fund initially and then growing that emergency fund. And it was, because I was in my professional life working, before I realized that even making really good money as a doctor, as an internist, a veterinary internist at a referral hospital, I would never be able to become wealthy by depending on my income. I realized that the only way for me to get to the point where I can accomplish my lifelong goals would be to invest and let my money work for me. And so the video I just posted a couple of days ago is about starting young, investing. Like I give the example of starting when a child is 1 year old. We're just putting $100 in on his first birthday, and then giving $50 a month in, and how that can turn into $1 million by the time that $50 a month for the rest of his life turn into a millionaire by the time he's 68 years old. He or she is 68 years old. And but a millionaire, being a single millionaire in 60 years from now will be nothing if the economy keeps going like it is. And so in that video I give different scenarios where when the child is 18, is working, hopefully they start working before their 18th birthday, and they invest more in every month. And then when he's 30, 12 years later, increasing the amount, and so on and so forth. So much easier than the way that I went about it, especially at tackling tremendous debt, student loans, paying for two homes, because we couldn't rent a place when we lived for a decade in Ithaca, New York. We actually lived outside of Ithaca, New York, but when we went to Cornell. And so it was kind of tough. But we stuck to it. And I worked like crazy. Well, we both did. We both worked our tails off. But I think by starting early and understanding the power of compounded interest, and then not touching that money, not trading, not buying low and selling high, rather choosing wisely, or just like I said in that example, just investing in the S&P 500. Is I used a table in the S&P 500 to demonstrate the average return on investment investing in the S&P 500, and the S&P 500 is a conservative investment since its inception in 1923 through to 2023. So no, 1926 until 2023. And then we had to look also at, well, what was the inflation rate? So we looked at the inflation rate and the return on investment for every single year, and then we took the average of those, and then we subtracted the average inflation rate from the average return to give us a potential forecast for what one could expect investing in the S&P 500 and leaving it alone, letting it ride. And so it really requires building an emergency fund so that you don't have to sell your shares, being prepared for terrible events that happen in life, and then gradually, not just setting it up initially for like a 3-month emergency fund to be able to pay all your major bills. You can always cancel your cable or downgrade things, but you know, you need to have a home, so you need rent, or you need a mortgage, you need your vehicle, whatever it is that you have to have. And in the future, most people won't have to own their own vehicles. They'll be able to use robo-taxis. So what it costs to have your vehicle sitting at home or sitting in the parking lot while you're at work, it's just a lot of wasted money. insurance, registration, repairs, service, routine costs for owning vehicles and all. It's, unless you just want to have a vehicle, you'll be able to have a vehicle transport you to where you want to be at what time you want to be there. Now this will take years for this to really take effect, where people get used to it and there's enough concentration of these vehicles out there. But that is the future. So some costs will go away, and with robotics, some of I think that'll help to drive down prices. It's getting too hot in here. Drive down the prices of many of the supplies and things. So the inflation rate, I think our inflation rate is going to decrease rather significantly in the future. Potentially it can, if things are done wisely, and our government really needs to cut their ridiculous expenditures. Need to focus. If I ran my household like our government runs our country fiscally, and I'd be at war with my neighbors too. If I ran my my interactions with other people. So hopefully our government will straighten up and stop overthrowing governments, stop trying to boost our economy by selling more weapons and then giving them money to buy the weapons. So now only the industrial war complex is actually profiting, where the rest of us were, and our family members aren't going to get hurt. Trying to make sure I don't wipe out a statue here. So enough of my government rant. But I'm somewhat optimistic about the future right now. And there's a potential for me to get really optimistic as well. But it really requires us to to take responsibility of our education for our kids. Some of the things that our kids are being taught nowadays, I think is, well, it shouldn't be funded by our tax dollars. And I think as parents and grandparents, we need to do our best to educate our children about those various topics that I mentioned in on our website, the article that I recently posted there. Just trying to see where our block walls are here. So, yeah, I think making sure our children understand critical thinking. Critical thinking is a skill that requires a lot of practice. A lot of practice. It's not accepting what anyone says, just believing in what somebody says or what the media says or social media or what your parents say. It's really taking the time and doing the research and learning how to do resources, finding where the biases are, because we all have a bias. everything working okay with this? I didn't shear a pin, did I? You know what? I think I sheared a pin. Well, dang. See, the chute, the ejection chute, that impeller did not shear this time. That's the one I put the new 5/16 18 thread count in. So I think it's one of my other ones there, because yeah, it was just pushing the snow, but some of it was getting caught up in the second stage. So, and I got to open the overhead door again. Well, that went pretty well. Got that shear pin. It was the one that drives both impellers. Let's go back up to where we were a couple of minutes ago. That's much better. Just didn't look right, the volume of material coming out of that chute. I thought I had gone into rabbit mode, but I was still in. I thought I had gone into turtle mode, but I was still in rabbit mode. So I also changed the batteries of my GoPro cameras here. If anyone's still watching at this point. I know my videos are long, and unless you're interested in watching something like this, it's probably as boring as all hell. So anyways, where was I? So I just think we need to do our best, not relying on our organizations, our government organizations, to do our education for us. It's ideal if you're set up in a place that's great, but you know, kids really need to develop skills. Critical thinking should be a skill that should be a lifelong commitment. And understanding logical fallacies, and so that you can have discussions and recognize when someone's saying something that makes no sense whatsoever, you're able to label it, not label the person, but label their attempt at their discussion or their debate, or they're trying to convince you of something. Understanding the logical fallacies is extremely helpful. First principles thinking, not assuming that you've got all of the information that you need. You have to break everything down to its most fundamental components in order to circumvent getting caught up in unnecessary thinking or processes that really aren't going to help you to achieve your goals. Civics. That's something that should be taught in school. Certainly we do need to know our rights. We need to know our Constitution. We need to know what our various forms of government are responsible for and what they should be doing, and know when, you know, what an executive order can do. what the Supreme Court's job is, what the court's jobs are. So, and certainly understanding our own responsibilities, not just our rights. So those are things that we need to teach ourselves and to teach our children, teach our friends, discuss these things openly, and understand that we're all coming from a place which is in dire need of a more informed knowledge base for all of us to have discussions. Because it's so easy to completely lose trust in government, in professions, and you know, the way that the media, the politics, everything has turned out in recent years. And it's gradually been coming. I'm very excited. Trump went ahead and signed a bunch of executive orders. One of the executive orders that I'm really hoping that we get all the information about is the executive order to release all of the information regarding the assassinations of John F. Kennedy, Bobby Kennedy, you know, Bobby Kennedy Jr.'s dad, who was running for president, Martin Luther King. You know, who knows what the real truth is? But it's time that we get the real truth and we deal with it. We just have to deal with the harsh facts, whatever the hell they are. So I'm pretty excited about that. I hope that that comes to fruition. You hear my fan belt there. No, I haven't worked on that. I'm going to wait until a nice warm day. The coolant is, you know, the water pump is working fine. I'll put it on a charge every once in a while. Unless the darn thing snaps on me. So I would appreciate anyone's comments on that article. I know a lot of the articles that I write about, people aren't genuinely interested in. They're just things that I find fascinating and have a strong commitment to pursue my own education on a day-to-day basis. Like during the winter months like this, I spend, I don't know how many hours a week, you know, looking at our financial situation and determining the next steps that I should be doing over the next year. And I recently did post, I think 3 or 4 articles on Tesla as an investment, not investment advice for anyone, but I thought it would be good for me just to share. And I'm really not sharing it all because I'm giving you a rather toned down view of how I think things are going to turn out in the future with our Tesla investments. Certainly it may go totally opposite, but that's that. Okay, so I talked about the article I recently posted, and there's a whole bunch of articles there on the various topics, from the permaculture topics to food force, the multiple forms of investing in yourself and your family, in your community, everything from composting to whatnot. That's annoying, the sound of that fan belt. So it looks like we've got a light breeze going to the east, coming out of the west. So I'm going to go ahead and direct the chute over in that direction, so I try to keep as much from coming back on the cab here as possible. So as I mentioned, we got our Speed Queens yesterday. Thea is so relieved. So many hours working with the other washer dryer combo unit, and she already did, I think, four loads yesterday, maybe more, after the serviceman came and installed the unit. And I'll be posting a video about that soon. And so she's as happy as can be. I'm happy that she's happy. And the other thing I posted a video about was we had ordered a latex bed, and I decided to replace our bed frame and adjustable bed. So in 2012, so we have been big Tempur-Pedic fans for many years. I don't know how many years, and that really had made a big difference with our health of our back, being able to get more restful sleep with our very busy schedules we've had throughout our professional careers. And that Tempur-Pedic bed was fantastic. So we had a king-size bed that wasn't adjustable, but when I got out of the hospital back in 2012, I needed an adjustable bed at that point. So we put our other bed in storage, which ended up giving to my daughter. And the deer did come through here. And we bought a used, like a king-size bed, but it's really twin, extra long, twin XLs. Adjustable bed, so the heads go up, the feet go up, that sort of thing. And that were used, and we had used mattresses. There were Tempur-Pedic mattresses, and that really did help out an awful lot. But over the years, I'm not a little guy, you know. I ruined the mattress. It just, my butt just sinking right down. The memory foam, the Tempur-Pedic memory foam, just wasn't holding up. And when I was examining the mattress, I was realizing, well, this is just breaking right down, and that's not healthy for us. The volatile organic compounds, the VOCs. So I really wanted to get something that wasn't going to give off harmful chemicals that could be absorbed through our skin, or we could be breathing in. Thea has some lung issues, and well, we both have some lung issues, which her lung issues are fairly significant, are very significant. And so I did the research, and I discovered latex beds were probably the healthiest beds that could offer us the level of comfort that we had grown to experience before the mattresses started to die in our Tempur-Pedic mattress. So latex is an all-organic material taken from trees, and it has organic wool with it, and organic cotton. to make the whole mattress and all. But it's unlike the Tempur-Pedic mattresses, which are a combination of just very cheap foam, like egg crate foam, which if you watch the video of the uninstall, you'll see me cutting one up. And the memory foam is just a thin, you know, just maybe 3 inches thick, I'm guessing. Where the latex mattress, it's 100% latex. And there's several different manufacturers out there. And it's much more expensive to manufacture than the memory foam ones are, or the sleep by number systems. You know. There's a tremendous markup in them. So we ended up ordering the Latex for Less from Latex for Less, and we got the Rise Home adjustable beds. So out in my shop, I've got our old bed with no mattress with it, and the two adjustable Twin XL adjustable bed bases, the frames that are, you know, that are automatic and all. And so I'm going to try and sell them. You know, I don't see I don't see me wanting the bed frame. It takes up more space. People who really like lots of decorations and all, I can see where that would be quite beautiful and lovely for them to have. I'm just not into it. So we'll try and sell that. And but the bed frames themselves, I'll try and sell them initially. But if they don't sell, that's fine. I'll be using them in an apartment that we'll build above the workshop there eventually when we're done with the book resale business. I take chunks of this bit by bit, so when I'm moving snow here in a few minutes, it won't be too bad. Time to turn my four-ways on now that I'm up at the top of the road here again. You got to go real slow when you're blowing right up next to the road here, where the plow has made a nice little furrow. Don't want to be pushing this out into the road. Everybody's got their tractors out and all today, doing what they can do. Oh, got down into the asphalt there. Okay, we're okay with the traffic that way. Kick her into rabbit mode here, and we're going to stay in mid-range gear. I wish my neighbor would not push that snow right up around that fire hydrant there. Jesus. Makes it so I can barely even see the fire hydrant. Lord. So anyways, we've had the latex bed now for probably a week. Man, our backs are so much better since having that. I get such restful sleep now. It's amazing. You know, you gradually get used to when something isn't working, like the memory foam was breaking down in the Tempur-Pedic mattress. And I don't know how old the mattresses actually are, because like I said, I bought them used. But when you get to the appropriate firmness of a mattress and it supports you and it gives just the right amount, and there's two sides of the mattress, there's a medium and a firm side, and whatever side I've got it on now it's the cat's meow. It is fantastic. I was one hurting unit the day that we installed them, and I'm sorry that I didn't film actually, you know, the putting together of the bed bases, the adjustable bed part. I apologize for that, but I had completely forgotten to turn the camera back on when we got to that point, because I was taking all the materials that from the bed, taking it apart, and those things are not light, and I was using the hoist or winch-like structure to go ahead and lower them and raise all the new bed parts up from the living room up to the second floor. So real fortunate that when I built the house, we didn't just leave a spiral staircase to get upstairs. We thinking about what I want to do here next to the mailbox, so bear with me for a few seconds here. I don't want to make it so that the mailman's going to have a hard time. Bear with me. PTO back on. Those the mailman trucks, they're really poor quality trucks. They can get stuck real easy, so I want to make sure that they've got an easy way to pull over here and be able to work their way out. We've been blessed. We've had some really good mailmen over the years. Just take it slow and steady as it feeds down from the wing. So they'll come back probably later today and knock down these banks even more. If we end up having a tough winter, what they'll end up doing is bringing some big articulated loaders out, and those loaders will push everything back. interesting. Florida actually got some snow. Pretty interesting. The guys who delivered the washer and dryer yesterday, real nice family-run business. Really glad we found them, and really nice folks. It's always good to find people in your local community, as opposed to the big box stores and all, where you can establish a relationship. And we did have some trouble where the machine was, our load was off balance. I don't know that the machine was very off balance, but it was making a lot of noise, the washing machine initially. And even though Thea followed the instructions of putting the HE detergent in there, it was way oversudsed. So we now know, put a tablespoon or a teaspoon in there, that's about the most to put in. And yeah, it was real nice. They came back, sat through a whole load with the machine, and as opposed to what you might experience with a box store delivery and needing help, well, then you've got to schedule an appointment for their service people and all. So that worked out pretty darn well. I'm just watching where the snow's going. This is absolutely a beautiful day out today. It's nice that it's not snowing right now. So that bed, love it. Really getting good rest. And last night we learned that the new Tesla Model Y is going to be starting to get released in March of this year. Now they're already releasing them in Shanghai in China. And I looked at that, and we love our Model Y that we have. Best darn vehicle we ever had until we got the Cybertruck. And the Cybertruck, and having the full self-driving with that Cybertruck, well, I tell you, as you get older, especially the way people drive nowadays, unless you're right on top of everything, you know, people cutting you off and all the things that happen, it's dangerous out there. There's people that brake check you. The road rage out there. And with the Cybertruck, I just completely sit back and relax. I am supervising, so it's not full self-driving unsupervised yet. It can make mistakes, but I'll tell you, driving places nowadays is so relaxing. It's beyond anything that I ever expected that I would experience. So, and Thea's has the ability to do full self-driving, but it isn't quite as good as the more recent computer systems that are in the artificial intelligence. And so it's, people will call what's in the Model 3, the one that we have, the Model Y that we have, a 2020 Model Y, which is in all respects amazing. Hardware 3 or AI 3 is how people are referring to it now. It means it does all the processing, taking all the data in from the cameras and all, and drives for you. Well, it isn't quite as good yet in the Hardware 3, which is in our Model Y. It's good, but you have to pay more attention. Like when you're in the Cybertruck, many people could fall asleep, and it would deliver you safely to the place. Now, I have my concerns in this part of the country with whiteouts and with the you know, the way that the roads sometimes have such thick slush and all, or that they haven't plowed. You know, everything getting on the cameras and it not working well. And even with the hardware 4 that's in the Cybertruck, even when the dirt gets on the cameras, it's still amazing how well it works. So we saw the release of the Model Y, came up when I was working at the computer last night. And T and I looked at it last night, and I thought about it overnight. So this morning, I ordered Thea a new Model Y. And it's kind of nice because we, people that, you know, if you already own a Tesla, you can send them a referral. So I sent her a referral. I think this one was only for $500 off. For most of the referrals you send out are for $1,000 off the new vehicle. And so I sent her a referral last night, and this morning she ordered her new all-wheel drive, long range, with full self-driving, hardware 4, and a whole bunch of other new things that they've done. Even though the Model Y that we have is constantly getting updates and new features and all. But they've changed things as far as the manufacturing process to make it even better. So we're going to trade in our Model Y. Now that we'll see how quickly things go about. But I imagine there'll be a lot of people making this same move. But I'm kind of excited about it. I love the Model Y that we have, but we only need 2 vehicles, and as we get older, the ability to have full self-driving and just press a button and say, take me here, and have it handle all of the stresses and strains, well, that's the world I've been waiting for, and with the Cybertruck, there's nothing like it. And that's the future. Pretty darn amazing. And I think many young people will probably never want to, and I'm saying many, not all, will never want to learn to drive. At least people that I've heard speak online. They don't want the added expense, the responsibility of having a vehicle, and all the expenses that go along with it, when they can just, on their phone app, and without there being a person in it, you don't have to worry. You can do your work. You don't have to sit in the back seats, which are not comfortable and designed for people. You can sit right up front. You can watch a movie. You can work on your computer. You can do whatever you want.
It started with a vision, a spark to ignite, a mission to bring the world new light. From the roads we drive to the skies we dream, Tesla's path is bold, a powerful beam, sustainable energy, a master plan. Step by step, we're changing the land. With every goal, with every mile, the future's brighter, and we can smile. We're building a better, brighter world. With every battery, every solar swirl, dreaming big, but making it real. Hope in our hands, a future to feel. From the master plan to the skies above, Tesla's mission is powered by love. It's not just about the cars we drive, it's about the planet and keeping it alive. Solar rooftops, soaking the sun, power walls storing for everyone. Factories rise, gigafactories roar, a cleaner cleaner tomorrow we can't ignore. Every piece fits, every step aligns, a sustainable future in all designs. We're building a better, brighter world with every battery, every solar swirl. Dreaming big, but making it real. Hope in our hands, a future to feel. From the master plan to the skies above, Tesla's mission is powered by love. Autonomy rolling, AI in play, rethinking the roads, reshaping the way. Electric semis hauling the load, charging stations lining the globe. We're fighting for air, for water, for land, a cleaner tomorrow, all carefully planned. From Mars to Earth, the message is clear. The future's in motion, and it starts here. We're building a better, brighter world with every battery, every solar swirl. Dreaming big, but making it real. Hope in our hands, a future to feel. From the master plan to the skies above, Tesla's mission is powered by love. So here we stand, together as one. The fight for the future has just begun. With every Tesla, with every stride, we're lighting the path where hope resides. The world's getting better, it's within our sights, thanks to the mission that shines so bright. We're building a better, brighter world with every battery, every solar swirl. Dreaming big, but making it real. Hope in our hands, a future to feel. From the master plan to the skies above, Tesla's mission is powered